Today I'm going to read you a book called The Reason for a Flower by Ruth Heller. And this book has really pretty illustrations and it has some good information in it. Although you're going to see towards the end of the book, we're going to get to a place where I'm going to disagree with the book. Wait for it. Okay, The Reason for a Flower. There's the title page. Oh, and look, there's a picture of a seed. I don't know if you recognize that or not, but it looks to me, oh, I was going to say it was a walnut, but it might also be the pit of a peach. Two different kinds of seeds that both look kind of wrinkly like that. See these pretty pictures? Birds and bees. And these this is at night. And these sip nectar from the flowers. And as they search for more and more pollen from the flower before, goes to the next one they explore. So you remember we've talked before about how animals help move pollen from flower to flower and plant to plant to help them make new seeds. Some pollen travels in the breeze without the help of birds or bees, and very often makes you sneeze. Has that been happening at your house recently? I've seen lots of pollen blowing around in the air near our house. From an anther on a stamen to a stigma on a style, pollen grains must travel and stay a little while. And then you'll see the reason. For each flower, even weeds, the reason for a flower is to manufacture seeds. And that word manufacture is just a fancy word for make. So all those flowers make seeds, and there's our word seed. You see those two E's in there making that long E sound, seeds. Seeds that have a cover of one kind or another. Some grow inside a juicy fruit, and it's not odd to find them growing in a pod. The largest ones, a coconut. See, all those pictures on this page are all different kinds of plant seeds. Look how different they all are. And then look how giant the coconut is compared to some of those little ones. Seeds travel far and wide. Some even like to hitch a ride upon a bike or on a shoe. Squirrels hide them and forget they do. Some have burrs that stick to furs and travel at a gallop. Seeds can settle anywhere they find water, sun, and air. Look at all these different kinds of plants. And then grow roots and stems and leaves. So you might recognize some of these. I see a radish right there and a beet. This is maybe a leek. That's a carrot. So you see they're growing underground, the part that we eat. Some seeds grow up to be trees. these grow where it's very dry. What kind of plants are those? That's right, they're all different types of cactus. Oh, look at those beautiful ones. And these grow where it's wet. These are different kinds of lilies that might actually grow right in some water. These may not look like flowers. They're the most important yet. Rice and barley, corn and wheat are cereals we need to eat. There's one called millet, and bamboo are a treat for animals who don't like meat. Yeah, all those plants are animals' food. These types of animals that don't eat anything but plants, they are called herbivorous. So look, they broke out the syllables of that word. It's really one big word, but they put spaces between the syllables. So we say it herbivorous. And that means animals that eat only plants. Would you believe these plants eat meat? And they are called carnivorous. Now, I've done some reading on these plants that eat meat, and they also make their own food. So I might not agree with calling them carnivorous. Although carnivorous is definitely a word that means eating meat. Look at that big thing. The largest flower ever found grows in the jungle near the ground, a parasite clinging tight to roots of trees that feed it. It's 3 feet wide, or maybe 4, weighs 15 pounds and sometimes more, and has a nasty odor. Rafflesia is its name. Now, boys and girls, if you're interested, ask your parents to look up a picture of one of these plants, and you can find a photograph of one of these flowers. I've done that before. I usually do that in class when we read this book, so everybody can see how big it is. Measure out how far 3 feet is, and imagine a flower that is that wide. It is so giant. But here's a flower that owes its fame to smelling very sweet. And scientists agree that magnolias seem to be a prehistoric family. That means it's a kind of plant that has been around for millions of years. All flowers are angiosperm. That's an ancient Grecian term. Here are just a very few products made from them for you. So these 2 pages have things that are made from plants. You might not have thought of some of them. Paper, wood, straw for a broom. They use things from plants to make candy. Coffee comes from a plant. Tea. Popcorn, of course. Chocolate. Cotton is a plant that we use to make fabric. The pasta that you eat, or bread. Plants give a lot of the smells for perfume. Rope can be made from plants. Rubber comes from plants. A cork. And even lots of medicines are made from plants. We really need plants. Here's the page where I'm going to disagree. Ready? Look at that picture. That's a picture of a mushroom. And then I'm going to read the words. Plants that have no flowers are fascinating too. Well, boys and girls, mushrooms are not plants. A mushroom is a fungus. That is not a plant. So I disagree with this page. Mushrooms are very interesting, but they should not be in a book about plants because they aren't plants. This one has become, look at this flower and see what it's going to become. See how its petals are falling off and starting to grow something right there. A plum. So that's a flower that became a fruit. And that is the end. So that has lots of interesting information about flowers and gives you some things to think about. When you are looking around your house, look around and see how many things in your house are made from plants. You might be surprised how many things are made from plants. Okay, see you next time.